Good evening, folks. All right, let's get into it, shall we? I have in front of me George Zipper's discussions with police. Now, of course, these are transcribed by the cops. They're put together in report form, so we don't get to actually see what it is that George actually said. But there's enough damning evidence here as it is. So, let's get into it. All right, so the reporting officer is John Dietering. I recognize him. Do you? Thursday, November 3rd, he states that he, Detective Remaker, and Sergeant Colburn attempted to make contact at the residence of George Zipper. They banged on the door quite a few times. They called over to, or they had dispatch phone call George Zipper. And then he says right here, I also attempted to contact the Zipper residence via cellular phone and obtain the same results, meaning no answer. Interesting. That cell phone thing is going to come into play here in a minute, folks, so keep that in mind. Finally, the door was answered by Mr. Zipper. George was extremely belligerent initially, and it was my impression that he was apparently intoxicated. Well, from the scuttlebutt that I've seen, that's apparently George's typical state of existence. He indicated that Teresa had no permission to be on his property, and she was trespassing. Now, this is what gets me about that, though, folks, is Joellen testifies later that when Teresa showed up, Teresa indicated that she had spoken with George, and George said it was okay. So, which story's the real one, folks? One of these things just doesn't belong here. Sorry. It's been a long day. I'm a little on the punchy side. Good fucking Lord. Now, Dietering says that he spoke with Jason Zipper, same address and phone number. He indicated that he had advertised a 77 Pontiac Firebird for sale, but to his knowledge, he had not made any contact with Auto Trader to have it advertised. So, who the fuck called Teresa? Jason indicated he did not, and George further denied calling Auto Trader magazine. But again, you know, even if it was a hustle shot, that's going to come into play here in a second. So hold on, folks. All right. Moving on. On 11/6, Dietering then contacts George again, and he says he asked George if he had ever done business with the Avery's auto salvage operation. His response was, hell no, I don't even know them. George, what are you afraid of admitting? Because, folks, the fact is that if it was simply that he didn't know them and had never done business with them, he would have just said, no, I've never done business with them. But the hell no, I don't even know them, indicates deception. Because why would he be so emphatic about something that's really a non-issue? Tu sabe? He then says George indicated that a female photographer had called the residence previously and was told by George not to come onto the property. George did not recall when this conversation had taken place. That's really strange, George, because first you said that you had never called Auto Trader, that you'd never spoken with her. Now you're saying that you have spoken with her and you told her not to come on the property. Which is it? Then he makes a statement to police. Part of the statement was that he was at work from 8 to 5, and that Mark Bellaban was there, as was Rick Strasner. Here's the thing, though, folks. From everything that I've seen in the file, I have yet to see any follow-up contact with either of those two names to verify George's alibi. And that just shows investigative bias. All right, moving on. Dietering then makes contact with George on January 19th of 2006. And he didn't actually make contact with George. He made contact with Joellen. Joellen indicated George does not have a cellular phone, nor does Jason. So whose fucking number did the cops call on the 3rd to try and get a hold of anybody at the Zipper residence? Huh? All right. Now, this is where it gets interesting, folks. January 20th of 2006. Dietering gets a hold of him again. George states he did not call... George states he did call Auto Trader on one occasion after Halbach went missing. He stated he spoke to someone about Halbach coming onto his yard without permission and that she was trespassing. George denied making any sort of phone call in which he purported himself to be Stephen Avery. Okay, folks, here's the mystery with regards to that. What the fuck? Now, if the cops had asked him, have you ever called Auto Trader and pretended to be Stephen Avery, that means that they know something that they're not telling anybody else. If George said it on his own, that means that he knows something that he hasn't told anyone. It makes him suspicious. So, what the fuck? And there are 2 instances during the course of this interview that he denies making phone calls to Auto Trader and telling them that he is Stephen Avery. So, I ask again, what the fuck? All right, get this shit, though. George stated that he believes some Auto Trader representative called asking when he was going to pay the bill. He then indicated it was a possibility he had called the Auto Trader regarding this matter. What bill? If Teresa went and took the pictures of the car and then was subsequently murdered, those pictures never ran an Auto Trader, so what fucking bill? What bill? Why would he have a bill to pay? There shouldn't be one since the pictures never ran. Apparently, Dietering asked George if it was possible that Jason had contacted Auto Trader, and he stated he was unsure about this. I have a lot of issues with how this whole contact, interviewing, and talking to Georgie Boy went down. Now, see, here's the thing. Teresa Halbach called the Zipper residence and told them, I'm having trouble finding the house. I can't seem to find the address. How the fuck would she have the address? How would she have the phone number if they didn't have an appointment? And how would they have an appointment if somebody from that residence had not called to make said appointment? Do you see what I'm saying? Somebody's lying here. It makes no sense either way around it. And if any of this were the truth, it wouldn't sound so motherfucking suspicious. So, all I can say with regards to this lovely little ball of shit that this is something is very, very wrong and somebody's not telling the truth. Now, folks, I have got quite a few other little tidbits to surf along to you today. I'm going to be uploading a fresh video for you regarding mob mentality on cluetv.net. So boogie on over and check that out tomorrow-ish. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter, Mama Phoenix 6. Don't forget to subscribe to me here on YouTube. And don't forget to search us on out on Facebook at ClueTV Official. Thank you all very much for watching. And of course, I'll leave this link down below in the description. We'll see you soon.